And right here on KAC Radio, where we have one of the most hottest shows every Sunday at 3, none other than What's Going On with Lady D and Sir John. Take it away, Lady D.
Well, good afternoon. What a wonderful Sunday afternoon it is. We're live here in Cleveland at Burke Airport, and we got a room full of guests. We got some things going on here in Cleveland. All right? Yeah, we got a lot what's going on. And we're going to start off with Babette Henderson.
Well, let's introduce everybody.
We are. We're going to introduce everyone. I'm rushing. I'm excited.
You got an hour.
All right, so we got Babette Henderson in the house.
Good afternoon.
And we got
Bob Ivory.
Bob Ivory and Temujin Taylor.
All right.
Principal of East Tech.
The East Technical High School.
I had it. We don't forget that.
That's right. The only one. What is it? The Scarabs?
The Scarabs.
The Mighty Scarabs.
The Mighty Scarabs.
Mighty Scarabs in the house. Yes. And Bob Ivory, he's so talented. He wears many hats.
Yeah.
I direct for the county initiative called Closing the Achievement Gap, Students of Promise, and in 4 suburban school districts, Garfield, Maple, Warrensville, Cleveland Heights, expanding and enjoying every minute of helping bolster achievement of our young people.
Awesome.
That's just really awesome. I tell you wear many hats, and then on top of that, you're a musician.
I am a musician.
Oh, and you're an author.
I'm an author.
Oh man, I'm telling you, we got it going on here in Cleveland. Yes, indeed. And Mrs. Henderson.
And I'm here to represent the 2XL Network and our Global Entrepreneurship Week launch. It's one of the exciting weeks we have all over the country, and 160 countries to be exact. Wow. That tomorrow, November 13th, entrepreneurs from all over the globe will celebrate being in business, being able to empower, educate, and employ people to have their own businesses. So that's why we're here today, too.
Awesome. Well, let's just talk about the event that's going on tomorrow.
Well, on behalf of the 2XL Network and in connection with Global Entrepreneurship Week, we have made the Teach a Man to Fish movement.
Okay.
We've taken that logo from the Chinese proverb that if you feed a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Mm-hmm. But if you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And so we're having a party.
Okay.
And yes, it's going to be networking, but we're going to just stretch it out and make it something a little bit more fun-filled. We're going to be at the Punch Bowl Social downtown. It's on the east bank of the Flats. I think that address is 1068 West 11th Street.
Right.
We're starting up at 5:30. We're going to go to 9:30, and we're inviting entrepreneurs who are in business. If you are thinking about starting a business, or if you have had a business and it didn't go well, you can come in, get some notes and tips, and speak with some professionals who can put you back on track. Now, I know you say networking, we do that all the time, but we've compiled a few different things to keep you motivated and moving all around the Punch Bowl Social, because that's really a nice venue if you haven't been there. So in collaboration with Teach a Man to Fish, we want you to go into the karaoke room and scale a tune. Or bowl with the launch and release.
Launch and release, your dream. Come on
We're also going to cast your business networking cards to real networkers. And that's a part of our speed networking. We've all heard of speed dating.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to have professionals, and you have 3 minutes. Get it all in and say who you are, what you do, and then they'll give you feedback. And it just keeps you moving where you're going around the whole venue and meeting and being interactive. Yes, we want you to have fun. It's a party, but you can get your information out there to other people.
I like the way you keeping that theme.
Yes.
Cast.
Yes. What else did I have? Real info.
Catch and release.
Real information. Mm-hmm. Real
Reel it on in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Reel it on
yeah.
And
all
it keeps
right.
you on point to while you're there.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Yes. And of course, we got decorations to go with all of those things too. But
Okay.
just come down and join us. But be for real.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I'm learning with the 2XL network and meeting different clients is that when you come, the decision to want to be in business should be made already.
Okay.
You should know. I was just thinking, you're wasting time. I think you should come with a made up mind, with a business plan, and we can guide you. That's what we do. We set you on course for where you need to be a thriving entrepreneur here in the city of Cleveland.
That is excellent.
Okay.
Well, I'm excited about it.
Oh, we're excited. Tomorrow, I'm already like resting in my mind because I know this is a 15-hour, 18-hour day coming up.
Right.
But we're so pumped about it. We got all the energy flowing.
Excellent, excellent. So now, is there a cover charge?
Well, there is a cover charge. It's buy one, get one free.
I like
The
that.
price is only $15. And so if maybe you and your friend were talking about going into business, this is a good chance for $15, people.
Okay.
That you can come in and get some groundwork information.
And get contacts.
Yeah.
And get
contact.
contact
Bring your dream.
to reality.
Right, right.
And it's an age-old adage that goes like, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
And that's how you get in.
Right.
And I have piggybacked off of people's education most of my life because I've been able to listen and say, oh, okay, I can go back and transfer that information for my life.
Right.
And it's working. So, yes, come in, bring a friend. $15 gets 2 people in. Refreshments. There is a cash bar if you choose, because it's the Punch Bowl Social.
Oh, it's a networking.
Right,
Okay.
Right.
right. But come, $15, 2 people, and see what we're all about and be a part of this movement.
Okay, excellent. Now, let me ask
See what
you,
you can be all about.
is this the first time we're having this event, the Entrepreneurship Week?
I believe it's the first time here in Cleveland, but don't quote me on that because this is each week. No, I'm sorry. 1 week in November all across the globe.
Okay.
So 2XL chose this week of November 13th through the 17th.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it's been done before here in the city or not.
So you mentioned it's going to be happening in about 160 plus countries.
Yes.
So while you're at this, is there another part where all those people in the other different parts who's doing it?
We will have
You know what I'm
streams.
saying? Yeah.
We have, Punch Bowl has TVs
Right.
all
Okay,
around.
okay.
And we've asked for access to plug in to where we can show you what's going on first in the 2XL network and then what's going on around in other
Nations.
and how
Oh,
they're
that
celebrating.
is cool. I like that.
Wow.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
And
a
we do have
local, global kind of event all at once.
And yes, it's big. It's big. And because I don't know for sure, so I don't want to speak against, but we're doing it this time. No matter what happened before, this time I know for sure it's big and we're going to produce a great launch party
Okay,
tomorrow.
that'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that we can look for happening every year?
Oh, for sure.
Is this going
For
to be a
sure.
yearly event here?
A yearly event here.
Okay, great,
Yes,
great,
yes.
great. Yeah, all right. And so we should bring our business cards. Be prepared.
Be prepared to network.
Okay.
Be ready.
Yes.
Is there a
Come
phone
ready.
number they could call if they wanted to purchase tickets, or you can just pay at the door?
If you want to purchase tickets, you can call 216-916-9455, extension 1. And we'll
Computer, Facebook.
Facebook, www.2xl.net, 2xlgroup.com. You can get tickets there. We'll be at the Punch Bowl tomorrow. We'll be there about 4 o'clock preparing to open the doors at 5:30.
Okay.
So, yes. And for any lucky listener today that has their own business, I have 2 tickets right here I can get to you before the end of this broadcast.
Excellent. All right. Excellent.
On one way to kick off a Monday.
Okay.
Yes. 5:30 to 9:30 Punch Bowl Social Club.
All right. I saw it. I went on the website to look at it, and it's one of the new places down in the Flats.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's a
And
beautiful
we're
place.
right in the
It's very
middle of-
open. Open. Yeah. And so and we can.
Easy access.
True. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Okay. Well, now we've got that. What's going on, and then we have something else that's coming up. All right, Bobby, what you got on the table? Tell us what's happening. What's going on?
Well, a lot is going on, and just want to thank you for this opportunity. This is just an awesome format to share information. And to my right, though, I want to yield to my fraternity brother, Brother Taylor, who we're members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and we have an annual event taking place. It's our Blue Jean Cabaret, which has a lot of other tenets to it that help support different parts of our fraternity's charge. And so I want to yield to a senior member of the
Okay.
organization. I'm
All
a
right.
neophyte, so
Okay. All
I
right.
have to yield.
Okay.
So as Brother Ivory mentioned, so we're having our annual Blue Jean Cabaret. This is our 15th year having this event, and this event actually assists us with providing proceeds to assist African American males with attending college. So it's going to be on Saturday, November 25th at the Slovenian Auditorium, 6417 St. Clair Avenue. $20 is the admission. We also will have tables of 10 for $190. And then there's also a $25 cover charge at the door. If you would like to purchase tickets or actually get in contact with someone, you can actually get in contact with me, Brother Zulu Taylor.
Okay.
And that is at 216-798-7003 or Zulu, Z-U-L-U, the letter Q, the number 6 at yahoo.com. But again, just an opportunity for people to come out to have a great time. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So after you have that great meal and socialize with your families, on Saturday you can come out, have an additional good time. So it's an the traditional old school cabaret where we will provide a meal for you from 8 to 10. We also are going to have 2 levels of entertainment with a DJ Low Key, who is one of the local DJs that does great musical work. And just have a great time. Just come out, have a great time, as well as assist us with assisting African American males in the Cleveland area.
All right. Now that's good to hear.
That sounds
That is awesome. Now I'm going to dig a little further back into the African male.
Okay.
All right. I understand that you are an educator.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want you to tell our audience a little bit more about you, because you're really doing some phenomenal things, and you're
At East Tech.
you're just really turning things out, and I'm impressed. So let's talk about what you're doing.
To me, I don't think that I'm doing anything special. I think being an African American male from the urban environment, I understand things a little differently from most, because I'm actually a product of that environment.
Okay.
So the things that our scholars, as we call them, or African American males in that area and females encounter, I feel that I've already pretty much encountered those things. So I can assist you with assisting yourself. So with me, it's all about building relationships with scholars, finding resources for them to assist them with moving forward with their academics, as well as their social skills. And as they say, just keep it real. But it's all about relationships and the academics.
Excellent. Now, and you're at a school.
Yes.
You're at one of our finest schools here in
Yes.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, ma'am.
And what's the name of that school?
It's the East Technical High School, the home of the mighty Golden Scarabs.
There you go.
What's that? Brown and
Brown and
gold.
gold, yes,
Brown
ma'am.
and gold.
Brown and
Yes,
gold.
my mother used to be. She twirled the baton. She was a majorette.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom, she used to go there, and I think my dad, he ran track at East.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he ran track back in the day. Yeah, so there's history there.
Definitely.
Yes,
Long
yes.
history.
Yeah.
Long
Yes,
history.
yes. And so I understand East Tech is really, things are turning around with the students. Let's talk about what's going on there.
So,
and how, because you're a principal.
Yes, I'm principal at East Tech.
Okay.
So basically, what we did was when I first got there about 5 years ago, we had small school academies, and we made a transition from small school academies into one comprehensive high school, where we brought two academies together to assist the scholars academically. We put some things in place where we looked at our population, and a large portion of our population was special needs. And with my background being in special needs, the first thing that I said to ourselves is that we have to expose those students to the everyday curriculum. So we took on the model of inclusion, where you put a special ed teacher and a regular ed teacher in the classroom to provide the academics for the scholars. And what we've seen is obviously a rise in the academics with both populations, regular ed and special ed. And what we've also seen over the last 3 to 4 years is an increase in our graduation rate. We pretty much went from a 72% graduation rate to just below 80% now.
That is
That's
awesome.
awesome.
We're definitely
Yes.
seeing the
Yes.
growth, and we intend on moving forward and providing the services for these scholars.
That is awesome.
Now that is good. See, that's good. A lot of times with our schools, we hear only bad news, but we don't hear enough of good news. And that is good news. That's showing that our kids are actually reaching out to get to where they need to go, where they need to be. And then the majority are doing that. It's not the majority doing everything they keep on showing us on the news.
Exactly.
So if you go from 72 to 80%, that tells me the majority is making a shift. They
Yes.
going to go in the right way and make their life and make their dreams come true. So that's good news.
Appreciate it.
We need to hear that.
Yes, I want to give you a round of applause for that. You know, because they've always, had a tendency of always putting the Cleveland public school system down. You know, a lack of this and our kids a lack of that. But actually, we have some phenomenal students that are in our school, because you brought some students on a while back from the School of Promise.
Yes.
Let's talk about the School of Promise.
Well, the Student of Promise is a Closing Achievement Gap initiative similar to a similar function in Cleveland that all derived from a governor's initiative under former Governor Ted Strickland, which I had the privilege of working under former State Senator C.J. Prentice. And in essence, as my brother mentioned, is that we targeted students that were at risk of not graduating on time with their class. And we too have seen, achievement bolster in the districts that I work with, which are Garfield, Maple, Warrensville, and Cleveland Heights, and we've seen growth in the last 4 years of this model. And we'll have some data to support that real soon. Case Western Reserve University is currently finishing up our evaluation, which will point to data and actually some statistics and some trends and some positive news that our students do very well once we give them that targeted intervention, and once we give them those wraparound services, and once we connect them to resources in the community, once we have strong tools and mentors that speak to their individual needs, and we see growth with that. And I say all the time, that East Tech student is just as I think equal to that Garfield student, or that Maple, or that Kennedy, or that Warrensville, or that Bedford, or that Greenville. They're still our babies. They're still our young people that face some of the same challenges. So I think some of the same solutions, can apply to both. And I think that's why we're seeing a trend and seeing some success rate in that population of students. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I feel like this year we're all in this together.
Yes.
And we should work together and help our kids, because they are our future.
Absolutely.
And we need more mentors to step up. The young women, they need women mentors. The young men, they need father figures and brothers and mentors, and you do such a great job with that.
Even though you might have parents.
But you know what? Even myself, as we get older, I think you still need a mentor. You still need someone to go to and give you advice and help you through just day-to-day life, call living. Yeah, wisdom.
And it's good to have someone who looks like me, giving me that's helping to guide me and helping to understand.
Yes.
Because as you stated, I kind of know. I kind of been there, and once you find somebody that can understand where you are, you feel better
Yes.
about doing better about
Yes.
yourself.
You know, I was listening to a statement the other day on the radio, and the photographer who actually took the picture of President Obama when he was in the White House, and the
Yeah.
young boy who wanted to touch his hair, and he bent down to touch his hair to see that he too. There, you know, he too can be president.
Yes.
You know, they had something in common, and it was just so amazing, you know. And I was listening to that conversation, and it says, and that is so important because who you have to look up to
Well, it's
can
important to give
be
good
it's-
examples.
yes, it's a
you
great
know,
motivating
and
tool.
Because, you know, kids need to see that someone, to me, the importance of seeing someone like you
Mm-hmm.
being successful is to let you know you can be there. I had many mentors as I was a kid, you know, both African American, Jewish, and German American, along with my parents who were the best mentors I have. But I got an aspect of them all around and seeing that, you know, people, we all are the same, the bottom line. You know, we all, sometimes, you know, I was thinking the German American that came from a nice suburb, but they actually grew in over the Rhine in Cincinnati in a very poor area and had a struggle and only had 8th grade education. But people helped them along the way and mentors and things like that. So it's everybody reaching out, remembering that we're a community and only a community survives if we help each other.
Yes.
And you do a
no one can be
great
left
job
behind.
of taking these students to different colleges.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that because I see you always taking them to a different school in Atlanta, you know, letting them see and get
Absolutely.
the fraternities
Exposure.
doing that.
Yeah,
Yes.
exposure. That's the key word. The operative word is exposure. It is very important that students can see what C.J. Prentice used to say to us in Columbus was that 6-block radius of awareness.
Exactly.
Take students outside of that 6 block, outside of what they see at the corner, the neighborhood, Big Ma's house,
Right.
Uncle Joe
Table,
here.
table, table.
They-
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. I talk with my hands.
Yes, I know.
talk with my
Miss
hands.
Babette was doing the same thing. Hers was little taps.
But yeah, to be able to expose, to see
Right.
what's out there, and as you said, to see those that look like you is important. And with that said, this week we'll be taking 40 students from those respective districts that I mentioned,
Okay.
high school and middle school, to
Okay.
tour Howard University from Wednesday to Saturday, and plus the nation's capital. We'll do the
Yeah.
Capitol tour.
Awesome.
We'll do Frederick Douglass Museum. They'll see the change of the guard at Arlington National Cemetery. They'll see the Great Blacks and Wax Museum in Baltimore and Baltimore Harbor. Coincidentally, it is Omega Psi Phi's Founders Day next Friday on the
Definitely.
17th.
Okay.
So just the schedule just happened
Happened
to
to coincide.
coincide. We'll be on sacred ground that Friday. So, and that's a part of history.
Yes.
You know, not to
Yes.
belabor the point, but when you look at not just our organization, but when you look at the other 8 fraternities and sororities, and if you really want to, find some great Americans, you look at look at the founders that in the early 1900s had this idea that they can change their circumstances, their culture, their surroundings by forming these organizations. So to be able to share that with young people is important. So in addition to when they go to DC, we'll do the Capitol and we'll get the nation's history and so forth. They'll also get some great Black history and learning about at least the founders of this organization. And
Taking them out of that
some great
6-block radius.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, that's great because, we have to learn how to come out of that comfort zone,
Yes.
And exposure is good because I know when we were growing up, my mother used to always say, you go to school with these kids every day and you come home. And on the weekend, I'll be doggone if you're going to be playing with them too. Everybody's getting out of this house and you're going to take something. And, and she gave us that exposure. We went to Caremew House, and everybody, what is it that you want to do? What do you want to try? And that's what we did. My brothers, they did art and music. I did dance. Mommy played guitar. We all did something. you know, and the exposure is good. And I kept it going with my daughter, you know, give them exposure, you know, and I believe in that.
Yes.
You know, not enough exposure is being given to our kids, you know, because there's a price. You know, everything costs.
Exactly.
You know, so when you can get that opportunity, I want to ask you,
But
how
that's one of
can
the great things about Cleveland. I have always thought about this community, our community, is that it always tries to have available experiences for its citizens. I don't think there's one city that really does it as good as this one does across the board. I lived in Chicago. I lived in Washington, D.C., briefly New York, and New York has got to, and D.C. does too, and so does Chicago, but not so as inclusive and cost friendly, and sometimes absolutely free. We have the Science Center. I mean, there's things, you know,
yes.
to really to get out your child out of that 6 block exposure, especially in these times where competitiveness globally.
Yes.
And that's a wonderful thing to hear about your Punch Bowl Social.
Yes.
That the way it's a global thing, and that's a way for young entrepreneurs,
Yeah, yeah.
to get your message, who you are out there.
Yeah, because
You
we
know?
have a lot of young students. Let's talk about that.
Yes, we have young students, and we welcome young entrepreneurs. And your programs are great, but sometimes the classroom is not for everyone. And we offer you the opportunity, if you have completed high school and you believe you're ready, or you want to get ready, we're there to help you. To get what you need and have the tools and the training and the mentors that you need to develop your dream. Because I believe our children today have to know that it's okay to dream
Yes.
and reach for that dream.
Yes.
We have a lot of creative kids in this. I've run across a whole bunch going shopping and things like that. Like a couple of months ago, I ran across 2 brothers. They wanted to do their own filming. So things like that. If you 2 are listening, like I told you, I told you there were things out there for entrepreneurs and young ones. And so this is something to look forward, because they were on point. I never talked to a 17-year-old, 16-year-old was boom, 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 boom. No, they were trying to get to understand the business side. So that's a good thing, you guys reach out.
Yeah. Speaking of places to go and learn about business and it being free to the community, is PNC Fairfax. PNC Fairfax, I have to give a great shout out because I used to always participate in everything they had there because they teach you small business classes. Chris Smith, he teaches down there. Well, he has an office that's located in one of the PNC Fairfax, in one of our PNC branches, where he will help you with your business and get your business outline and go through the whole course with you, So, and it's free to the public.
Yes, and they got a Saturday morning thing for your kids.
Yes.
That even though it's all fun and things like that, but the whole premise is to teach the children about banking and teaching them about, business a little bit.
And they
So
have
just to
things for
spark it
families
in
too,
your mind.
cooking in the kitchen with your kids,
Yeah.
so you can bond
So there's a lot
together
to
because it's important for us to get the parents involved in what your child is doing.
Always.
So that way you're bonding and you're learning what they are learning, and you can communicate and have some conversation,
Yes.
and not look into, your best friend or someone to go to for advice where they don't know no more than you do. So that's what's important too, is having a mentor in your life. Yes. And your book. Because here's a man that's just a jack of all trades here. Mr. Ivory,
Many hats.
you wear many hats. Tell us about some of those hats you wear.
The other thing I took a stab at was becoming a published author. And I just felt I had a story that I wanted to share, to hopefully to inspire, especially young people, but people that just have gone through some challenges and had to, persevere through certain aspects of their life. So I just kind of documented a lot of that in a book, and it's called What God Has Done, and released it last year. But I have the second edition that soon should go out, probably within the next month. I just got the proof back, and now I'm just doing my little final edits.
Okay.
And then once I do that, it'll be ready for release. And like I say, it's just it's not a life story. It's not a biography. It's pretty much just what God has done for me.
Okay.
And I think in some of those stories, and some of those passages, and some of those analogies, I think it should, it'll relate to inspire some other people. And so it's a book for all ages. It's based on my faith, and it's soon to be published.
Excellent. And also, you
And
do music.
I do music. I'm a songwriter and keyboardist, but I pretty much I love writing music. I've had a passion for music since I was little, and I enjoy jazz and R&B and just some of that old school vibe. So and I just think there's an audience for that. I think there's still some people left that just like to.
We're looking for you.
To do a two,
Right.
Do the two-step.
Do the two-step.
That's all I got. So I put some music behind that allows anybody to do nothing else. You can go from one side to the next.
Okay.
But also music anyone can listen to.
Yes.
And just R&B and jazz and just music to make you feel good. I just think it's a project that if you had a long ride to go, you would just put this in and you would just be on the highway like, okay, this helps me get through my ride.
Right.
So the second project is also due out, within the month.
Okay.
And looking forward to sharing that.
Okay. And what's
So
the name of that new
I was about to
CD?
say.
The new CD is called Sway.
Sway.
It's Sway. My last CD is Less Unwind. And it's also, currently still available on iTunes. I have a Pandora station.
Okay.
Which that's something I'm real proud of because it's not easy to get on Pandora.
Okay.
And so I submitted the single, which is Less Unwind, and it got accepted on the first try. And I
Excellent.
Pandora station.
So you say it's not easy to get on. Why is that?
I'm not sure. They are very. I think I don't know if it's
They're
competitive.
very
or
competitive and selective.
Selective, because I have a lot of people that I know that are very talented, and
Okay.
they said that they, they submitted material and it was, they passed on it. But I have a couple that Pandora selected, so hopefully the next project will follow suit.
That is awesome.
That's really good.
Yes, yes, yes.
And if we create your station more,
Absolutely.
it'll
Yeah.
work in your
Supply and
behalf.
demand.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, that is really awesome. Go ahead, John. I know you
Go
want to
ahead,
say
what?
something because we always think on the same wavelength. So I'm just going to pause and let you get yours
I
in.
was thinking, I wasn't thinking. I was thinking that was great.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, but a little bit more about what's going on with East Tech. Now, Mr. Taylor, I like your first name. It's one of my favorite. Actually, your first name is about one of my favorite people in history.
Tell us what your first name means.
I would like to know how you got it.
My name is Temujin. It's pronounced Temujin. My mom actually gave me that name when she was a young student. She was studying Oriental history. She came across Genghis Khan. So it's the original name for Genghis Khan. It means man of iron. So I am a man of iron.
That is
I
amazing.
live that name every day.
Excellent.
That's amazing to me. That's amazing. Wow. She gave you a strong name.
Very strong, and you have to live up to
And
it.
you
Yeah.
feel those shoes.
That's why I say it's important to watch what you name your children.
Yep.
Give your children a name that's going to mean something, because they become that.
Definitely.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, we got some time here,
Yes.
and I want to go. Well, maybe I shouldn't because Larry's
Why?
here.
Why? You want to? What? Come on, you guys don't go
So,
there.
I mean,
What?
as people on our show know, I might be not the greatest fan
Oh,
of
here we
our
go.
president, as my mother tries to put me. I mean, my wife, Lois. Lois is right. He is our president. I need to stop calling him 45 or
That's all he gets.
other
from me.
names I was thinking of. But what do you think of so far? Any of you?
You back your tongue back there?
John,
He knows how to pick you,
You know,
right? Come on,
I want to keep this as a family show, but he wants to take me there.
I'm just saying. You know. Now, to be honest with you, I even told Lois, who is my wife, I even admitted that on this trip, I even admitted that he did one good speech, and it actually made sense.
See, I think what a lot of people tend to miss is that y'all won't make this mistake ever, 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 ever again in life. But it's also showing you that even though Hillary won the popular vote,
We live in a republic.
we still put him in office.
Well, it's a republic.
Well, it just shows to me
It's
that
not a democracy.
It is not a democracy. It is truly a
Republic.
A republic. I mean, and I'm sure the professor over here, the principal over East Tech, I'm sure he can chime in and help us
Soon to be doctor.
understand. How
You know
does
what?
our
Ooh.
vote not count?
It counts.
Actually, to be perfectly honest, there's two things that I stay away from, and one of
Okay.
the things is
Religion and
politics.
Politics. Okay.
So-
All right. We'll let you off with that
Thank you,
today.
I appreciate that.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you. And John brought it up.
I mean, it's.
I want to talk about music. I want to talk about the cabaret,
The slow
know,
dancing.
the slow dance. You don't want to talk about politics. I want to talk about, is there going to be ice on the table for my beverages?
Yes, so we will.
There
have,
will be ice.
We will have setups for you.
There will be setup.
There'll be setups. Oh, wow.
Setups. So you'll have the ice. You'll have a few cups to
Do we get 2 pops?
2 pops.
Oh, wow.
I remember back in the
Coke
day.
and ginger ale.
Yeah, Coke
Oh,
and
you said
ginger
old
ale.
school?
Right.
Old
Right.
school.
And if you are my personal guest, there's some different libations for you as well.
Okay.
wow.
Do we
because
get-
again we buy tables. So I actually sponsor 2 tables every year.
Okay.
So if you're my personal guest, there'll be some additional things at my tables for my guests.
And how much does a table cost?
A table is $190.
Okay.
And it sits 10 people.
A table is $190, folks, as you just heard. That means you can come to the
Sits in.
cabaret. Those corporate sponsors and all those folks that want to help the kids out. You know what? I remember
Exactly.
growing up when I was young. I don't go out anymore, like clubbing. But I was always looking for some place to go either the day before Thanksgiving or the day of Thanksgiving
Yes,
night.
yes.
Now this is going to be on what day?
This is Saturday.
Saturday.
Right.
Okay, a couple of days after.
Right.
So that's a good exercise because, see, now if you had ate all that food, you can go shake it off.
Yeah,
Shake
exactly.
it off, get it fully, digested.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's Black Friday the day after. So go out and get your outfits.
Right.
You're going to
And get ready. Get your favorite jeans.
You go ahead and get those Gators. They're going to be half priced, and have a good time.
Are we going to have a
At
blue
the
jean
Blue
contest?
Jean.
No, we
The best jeans in the house.
So we don't have a contest. It's
Okay.
more of the social atmosphere and the dancing atmosphere.
Okay.
Again, it's the weekend of Thanksgiving. So after you're done with the meal and you're done with the shopping, come and have a great time.
Okay.
But before,
Relax and unwind.
Right.
before you do all of that,
You got
Monday.
to Monday.
come Monday.
We were talking about the launch party.
Yes.
Monday.
You gotta come Monday and
Kick your Monday off. Your
keep
week
the
off.
week off right. While you're having Thanksgiving dinner, discuss amongst your family members and friends who's ready. And then when you come that Saturday, you've made up your mind, you can get out on the floor and dance a 2-step. And then the first of the year, you're ready to go.
And we're
There you
talking
go.
about tomorrow, Monday.
Tomorrow
Monday.
November 13th, 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Punch bowl.
Punch Bowl Social.
Now, what I get for my $15
You're gonna bowl for free.
bowl?
Catch and release.
You're gonna catch and release. Yes. You're gonna
Wait. Now,
scale
what's
it-
catch and release?
catch and release. Pick up the bowling ball. You
Where's
put
the
it
bowling
down the
ball?
lane.
On the wood. And
Just like when
you
you're
know-
fishing.
So what's
Right.
catch and release? Why you call it catch? Why do you
Because-
call it bowling, John?
No, because when you're fishing,
'Cause they're themed.
we're teaching men to fish. You catch it, maybe it's too small,
So you can
it does,
eat
or
for
you
a
might have
lifetime.
too many walleye. You got to release it back.
Right.
So catch and release.
Catch what?
Your dream.
Throw it out
Throw
there
it out there.
and see if it'll come
right,
back
okay.
to you.
Yes.
Because it's based off of they're taking that Chinese, proverb, and that's their main theme.
So what does that got to do with bowling?
John, Larry, I had to find something. I had to find something.
Catch
Just work
and
with me.
release,
Okay,
like
okay,
fishing,
all right. Catch and release.
the
Catch and
allegory.
release. What else? What else do I
Go
get?
ahead, Beth. Tell me what else we got
For
going on.
$15, you're gonna have
Free bowling.
refreshment. You're gonna be bowling.
Bowling.
You're gonna
Hold on.
Refreshments.
You
Is
said
there
refreshments too
appetizers?
fast. What
Yeah.
refreshments are we having?
refreshments, house refreshments. If you've enjoyed food at the Punch Bowl,
Yes, I've had.
you'll have some of those, whatever their
And it's a lot.
catering menu.
Okay.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Okay.
Oh, after
Because people are coming after work, they're going to have a little appetite.
Right.
They're going to be a little hungry.
We
They're going to want something to eat. Just like at the cabaret. Hey, they've been drinking a little liquor. They're going to want a
Right,
little
right,
something to
right.
eat.
Right. Well,
You know,
we
you
got
can't
that
invite a brother
covered.
out to some place where there's no food and I'm paying my money.
Right.
I'd rather eat and talk to you than just,
bowl and
bowl.
talk to me.
Because I don't bowl.
We got all of that covered.
You got all
If you
that
don't
covered.
bowl,
You can do some karaoke.
yes, scale a tune. Scale,
A tune.
fishing, scale a tune in the karaoke room. You can come in and you can sing about KAZ radio. You can sing in whatever business you have.
Be the
Okay.
You
DJ.
can have a competition with John.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't sing. I don't sing.
You don't sing? But it's karaoke.
All right.
You can make it's fun.
I don't sing.
You can just follow the words, okay? You never know. You might get lucky.
And
you
I
may have a
also-
voice somebody might want.
Karaoke is all about
I don't
fun,
think so.
not about
Okay.
singing.
Okay.
Well, after you hear my voice, you might think.
But what I like is sitting down and doing the 3-minute.
The speed networking.
The speed
Yes, we
networking.
think
That's
that's
a good
going to be a
idea.
hit.
I like
That's
that.
good.
Yes.
You know, because like I said, we got 4 hours. You don't want to just be talking to people. That gets boring. We wanted to bring in some activities, we'll have teams. We're going to set up teams.
Oh, okay.
And it's newfound teams. It's
Right.
you two guys, you guys could be a team and we could be a team. And just having fun.
Finding a voucher, dream, or whatever
Right.
your business that you're trying,
Right.
you want to get
and
started.
Even if you failed, somebody's failed before.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what all
well, that's-
entrepreneurship is
Yeah,
about.
Yes,
yeah,
they
Try,
can
fail,
tell
and
you.
try again.
Yeah, right. So we want you to come out. You can check us out at www.learntofish.org. That's another website.
Learn to fish.
Learntofish.org.
Learntofish.org.
We have information posted there also.
So you get the catch and
Okay.
release.
$15, buy one, get one free. Everybody loves BOGO.
Okay. Oh, yes, BOGO.
What's
Is
both?
that BOGO pizza?
No.
Oh.
Tickets.
Oh.
She knows Bogo.
I know,
Okay.
but I love BOGO pizza.
BOGO. See, and I'm sitting here hungry and I'm thinking food, and you're talking about tickets are BOGOs.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Now, at the cabaret party, are we allowed to bring our bucket of chicken? Because, back in the day, folks would bring buckets of chicken. It'd be like a picnic at the cabaret party.
So the thing is, many of our guests do bring their food, but we also provide a buffet inside of that price. So from 8 to 10, we'll have a buffet. And a lot of
Okay.
times, the majority of our guests come for the 8 to 10.
And how much is your good?
Ours is 20. It is $20 per
Okay.
ticket, but you can purchase a table for $190.
Oh, so $20 I get to eat
Right.
and bring my own
Dance.
drink
Right. And dance.
and dance. And what's at the
socialize.
buffet?
So I'm not sure this year,
Okay.
but I know that it has been a hit for the last 10 years.
Okay.
So
Okay.
people love the buffet that we put together.
Okay, excellent.
It's
Excellent.
excellent. Got a track record.
All right,
There you
$20.
go.
I guess I'll be there because
Yeah,
I don't have
$20.
anything to do the day
you'll be
after.
helping.
That's Saturday.
Come on. Have
Okay.
fun.
And again,
Well, if
it's
we just-
from 8 to 1 at the Slovenian Auditorium, 6417 St. Clair Avenue.
I was thinking if we're just going to reminisce down East Texas.
The scare
Mighty
us.
history.
Right. If we remember, wasn't the game on Saturday after Thanksgiving? The big game used to be in the stadium? Or I'm aging myself.
Yeah, that may
Okay,
be a
I'll
little
let
bit,
that go.
a little bit before me.
Oh,
But it
okay.
used to be a big football game
game.
every year, in the Cleveland Municipal Stadium.
Tap, tap, tap.
He used to, yeah,
Yes.
it's pushed back, scaled back a little bit.
Well, you
I
know,
know
the
it's like
guys, they still get out there and do that turkey football, right? What does they call it? The guys
Not
would
the Turkey Bowl, is it? The Turkey Trot. The Turkey what?
on Thanksgiving Day, the young boys go and play football. And they call it turkey something.
The Turkey Bowl.
Turkey
whatever.
bowl.
No,
My
isn't the
brother-
Turkey Bowl when you bowl a turkey down the aisle
No,
of the grocery store?
they actually
Isn't
would
that
go
the Turkey Bowl?
outside and and play football.
Play football.
Before they.
When you're younger.
Yeah, when they were kids growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
They don't do
old.
that no more.
I'm too old. Number one. And those kids, yeah, they don't do it anymore. Like,
Yeah, because that was a
Cell
big
phone.
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are you sure that was in our neighborhoods and not in the suburban neighborhoods?
Well, you know,
In our
Yeah,
neighborhood.
That was
our
in
neighborhoods. It was in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right, just
it
check
was
it.
in
Street
the,
football.
as my mother would say,
Started off as
Union
tag, turned into
Heights
something different.
Boulevard.
After that
was fun.
Thanksgiving dinner, you went out there and played football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mommy called Union
Can't be all
Union
cold.
Heights Boulevard.
You didn't feel it. That was the most fun. That was a long time.
Oh my goodness, yes indeed. All righty.
Now, Bob, in getting back to the kids and the introducing them to different colleges and things, and being a part of your fraternity, right? I have a problem with it.
Oh, he's
Can I tell you what my
always-
problem is? This is the hot question. What in the world is going on with all these hazings to become a part of your fraternity? Why is these young people being hazed to become a part of something like a fraternity?
Let me answer that.
Okay.
So first of all, allow for me to say that the Omega Psi Phi fraternity is a non-hazing organization.
Amen. Thank you. Clarifying that.
So there is no part of hazing to become a member of my
Excellent.
fraternity.
Excellent.
So,
You don't get beat up.
no.
Okay.
You have to drink a whole bunch of liquor
It is
until you
not a
fall
part of our
out.
fraternity.
Okay.
There's a process that the young men have to go through, but it is not hazing.
It's not
Okay.
hazing.
For us, it's more of providing a mentor for
Yes,
that young
yes,
man, or in
yes.
some cases, an older man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because what these gentlemen are attempting to do is make a transition into something that they don't know, which is our fraternity.
Okay.
So we mentor those young men into becoming leaders for our fraternities, as well as leaders
In their
the community,
community.
as well as their place for employment. So again, there is no place for hazing in the Omega Psi Phi
I
fraternity.
like that.
And that's never been a part of your history at all.
It never has been a part of our history.
Excellent, excellent. So, answer my question though. What is the deal with these other fraternities?
I have no idea because I'm not in those other fraternities.
You know, they take it to such an extreme of foolishness that people die
Yeah.
because of this stuff.
And I've heard, but again, I can't speak on behalf of
Something
another
that
organization.
it's
right?
something you do not do.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'll
I'm
accept
curious
that
to
as a
wonder
good
why
answer.
is it not
Yeah.
banded? Why is it allowed?
Yeah, that's exactly was my question.
Yeah.
So
why is it not allowed?
I don't think it's allowed. And this is just me speaking.
Well, it's not allowed now.
Yeah, I think what it was some gentlemen going off of what they thought was a tradition.
Okay.
And they added on to what they thought was a tradition.
Tradition.
But it was never, for the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, it was never a
A tradition.
Right.
Well, that's good to know. So, young men, here's an organization that you should get involved in, so that way you don't have to worry about getting beat up.
But it's not all of them. Don't
Well, no,
make it all
but
general.
besides getting beat up, but you can grow up to be a man and be a leader.
Be a
But
leader.
don't
You know,
make-
be a righteous,
I'm
stand
just
up
saying,
man.
don't make it. Don't make generalities.
Yeah.
Now, how
well,
do I apply
Well.
as a young person to get this $1,000 grant so
Okay.
that you provide?
So, by the way, I'm actually the chairman.
okay.
The chairman. So what I do every year, starting in January, is I contact the guidance counselor and or the principal at the local school. So what we do is we contact the high schools in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, as well as what we call the first ring suburbs, which would be Cleveland Heights, East Cleveland, Shaker Heights.
Okay.
And based on the number of applications I receive, I'll have a committee. We read through, because there's actually an essay
Okay.
part that they have to write.
Okay.
So we'll read the essays, we'll sit down, and then we will select. Last year we had 35 applicants, And of the 35 applicants, we actually interviewed 20.
Okay.
And of the 20, we gave out $1,000 scholarships last year.
Wow.
So this year we're actually looking at doing 10.
Okay.
I think this year we'll have more applicants
I was gonna say.
because we are more in touch with a lot of the guidance counselors this year.
Okay.
And again, it is a process. There's also an interview process that they have to partake in. And I know for a fact that last year we had some stellar applicants. And all of those young men are in a place of higher education right now. A lot went to historical black colleges, as well as a few colleges here in Ohio.
Okay. And now these are for just blacks or
African American males.
African American males. Okay. All right.
And do you find that some of those African American males are first time college students and families?
The
and
the
breaking-
majority of them for the last 5 to 8 years have been first time
In their
college.
family.
Yeah, first time.
That's
in their
awesome.
family,
And the
Breaking
$1,000 they can
generational.
use it however
yeah.
they.
However, right.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
we really don't have a criteria in regards to what you can use the monies for. But we do, a part of the process is us contacting the university or them providing us with the documentation saying that they were accepted. We normally request some form of housing document saying that you have housing, and then something from the registrar just to prove that you are indeed
Indeed,
at
at
school.
school.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Excellent,
That's
excellent,
great.
excellent.
That's
I love
great.
hearing that. I
And
love hearing
how do the students get involved? If someone wanted to have their child involved in the School of Promise,
If you are in one of the 4 participating school districts, Garfield, Maple, Warrensville, or Cleveland Heights, you would contact what we have are called linkage coordinators, which are pretty much the primary mentors that are full-time staff persons embedded in the school. You can reach out to one of the linkage coordinators or the principal. All the schools have all information and are pretty much inundated of what we do, our best practices.
Okay.
So if you have a student that's in one of those school districts, and we are about to, if the county budget allows us to, we will also expand it into East Cleveland and into a couple of schools in Cleveland in the fall. I don't want to get ahead of myself. but
Right.
we propose to expand just because of our success. We've
Right.
had some success and want to expand those opportunities into some other schools. But you can reach out to the principals, linkage coordinators, or even guidance counselors in any of those schools. 9th grade. We also are in middle school as well, in some of the feeder schools that feed into the high schools. We have middle school staff as well.
is there a criteria that student has to be and to be accepted?
There's some criteria that pretty much says that if you meet one of these risk factors, you may be at risk for not completing with your class. And I expanded those risk factors from the initial governor's initiative, which was just simply if you were over the age of what your grade level should be.
Okay.
We've had 18-year-olds in the 9th grade.
Okay.
We figured you were at risk of not completing if you were of that age in the 9th grade.
That's great.
Right.
Okay.
If you failed 2 or more core subjects, if you had missed 25 days of school, and if you had, certain amount of suspensions, and I expanded that to in-school suspension as well, because that to me is just as puts you at risk if in school or out of school. But then I added some criteria, pretty much to cast a wider net, no pun intended, but
Thank you.
we cast the net to those that may have juvenile court supervision or had been adjudicated. If you're
Okay.
adjudicated, more than likely that means Cuyahoga Hills, DYS, and so forth. You've been out of traditional school setting, you also may be at risk. Or if you're under court supervision,
Okay.
you may be at risk. If you perform below basic on one of the state standardized tests, felt that you also may be at risk because you may have an A in English, but also not a good test taker and perform below a proficient level. Felt that you also may be at risk. Or if you entered the 9th grade, say you came from Glenville, but you came to Cleveland Heights, or you at Garfield Heights, and you came from another school district, and you don't have the necessary credits to be in that current grade,
Okay.
that you're already behind. So
Okay.
we also want to help pull you up to the credit level. Most people don't realize that ninth grade is the first year in school that you have to earn, as you know, credits, 5 credits to go to the next grade. Up to 8th grade, you can actually kind of just get, I'm hitting this table.
Yeah.
You can actually get promoted without necessarily
Getting the credits.
getting the credit. So if you enter the grade level and don't have sufficient credit, we also felt you were at risk. So in essence, there's a lot of criteria, but then there are students that may not meet any of those students that we still welcome, because there's also a social and emotional learning aspect to the program that we want to make sure that you socially and emotionally also have what you need to be successful. So in essence, the program is really for every kid.
Every kid, okay.
And even when I took it to San Francisco a few years ago before coming back to Cleveland, used the same criteria, but I had Asian kids in the program.
Okay.
I had Samoan kids in the program. So it transcends, what we had targeted, which was African American Latino males, and it's
Okay.
grown to the point
And
where
it's still growing.
And it's still growing, and it's
Yes.
also taken another turn that is now almost like a leadership development program, because a lot of these students are really just great kids and have leadership abilities that we want to invest in, and that's why functions like the Blue Jean Cabaret, which those resources can help to go support and further support the advancement of education in some targeted situations. So that's why we need people to come out and help us generate more
Come and
resources
support.
that we can help more students.
So are you in need of sponsors?
Sponsors are always welcome.
Always?
Always,
Okay,
yeah.
well, if someone wants to be a sponsor, how do they reach out to you? Is there a number?
Yep, there's a number again, Temujin Taylor, 216-798-7003.
Excellent. And for your event, Babette?
www.learntofish.org. You can reach us there tomorrow, 216-916-9455, extension 1.
Excellent. So we've got some really awesome events that are coming up for the month of November.
Want to kick off your Monday?
Okay.
Kick off your dream, and one, help some students and bring them in after Thanksgiving. Something to be thankful for, that many students still. It's good to see the good side
Yes.
for a change.
Yes, yes.
So we got to support these kids who are made that change and striving to be the best they can be. So the Blue Jean Cabaret. So
Oh, you just had to hit the table. All right. We
Blow
gonna
my ears right out of the.
So we got the Blue Jean Cabaret coming up, and we got the Punch Bowl Social going on tomorrow because I'm going fishing. And then after I finish fishing, I'm going to put me some blue jeans on and do a 2-step.
Yes.
side to side.
Yes, and I just want to say I thank all our listeners and our supporters. Today is actually will be our first year anniversary that we've been.
Yes.
God has been
Wow.
good to us. He's
Amen.
blessed us to be on a wonderful station, KZ Internet Radio. And we're looking forward to just keep bringing you more and more and more of what's going on with Lady D.
And Sir John.
Thank you for tuning in with us.
All right.
And we're going to make that a wrap, and we're going to end that off with some wonderful jazz.
I knew. You know what? I knew you were going to say
You know
that.
I was going
and that's
there.
why I'm going to play "Let Sun Wine." Let me see. If
All
I
right.
can play it
Hit it.
now.
Bob
And it'll
Ivory.
be-
To the moon set by my music, let's unwind. Close your eyes, feel the vibe, let's unwind. To the moon set by my music, let's unwind. It's in your eyes what you've been going through. Why don't you tell me about your day?